I'm Norbert, energy engineer, and today I want to talk about clean burning of waste oil. About waste oil, there are many problems. The first thing is that it is everywhere. You find it in industrialized countries, you find it in developing countries, you find it in the food sector, and you find it also in the transport sector. So, for example, the engine oil of your car. Food is everywhere, cars are everywhere, so waste oil is really in big quantities on the world. And then it's not only in the big organizations like, for example, enterprises like restaurants or so, but it's also at your home. So it's really something also in the reach of you, homeowner. It will be close in your neighborhood somewhere that you can get waste oil, maybe also your own waste oil. Another problem is that it is not the cleanest fuel on earth. So people really frown upon it. You should bring that to the recycling center, they say. And there's, of course, also the legislation. There is also the fact, the problem of safety. Waste oil is very dangerous, as every oil, because it can get very hot, much hotter than boiling water. And if it's burning and it's get on your skin or into your clothes, it will keep burning there. So it's very dangerous. There's also the health problem of breathing the waste oil fumes. So with all these problems, you might say, okay, let's stop the video. It's just not an issue. There are also other reasons which motivate that waste oil burning is a good solution. For example, the first thing is that you have to pay a fee in many countries to recycle the waste oil. And from the other side, there's also that with waste oil, you can replace fuel which you have to purchase. So you save money in two ways if you burn waste oil. So if you do it in a clean way, why not? It has also the advantage that waste oil is everywhere. It is under your hand reach, so you will also decrease all the logistics. For example, developing countries, you avoid that it's dumped in some illegal way. And you will also avoid that in developing countries people are looking for wood and they have to waste a lot of time to collect it. It's confirmed that cooking fuel is also the cause for the desertification. Then there's another fact. I see on YouTube much interest in waste oil burning. I see many videos, and for each of those videos I see many visualizations. So if there's so much interest, then it's also good to accept this situation, but without the problems. So with this situation about the problems, but also the argumentation that it's good to make use of the energy content of waste oil, the solution would be that you take this waste oil and you burn it in a clean way and also in a safe way. Another part of the solution is that you apply the rule of Pareto to this technology. You take, for example, the burner, which is a small part of the whole system, where you mix the fuel with the air, and that's a part which you can get for very little money, $30 or so, on Amazon. It contains a lot of research, so buy it and the rest you make yourself. So then we go to the innovations which I will bring to you. The first innovation is that I take an existing object, like this barbecue, which is running on charcoal. It has an internal fan, and I made a retrofit in 3 ways. So one is that I put inside a much stronger fan, which is 10 times as strong. So it will blow lots more air, so that you will get much more oxygen into your burner, and that will contribute to a clean combustion. Then instead of the burner for charcoal, which is here, I took it out and I developed a very cheap burner for waste oil. So you have 2 tins of fish, and you have the outer where you get with the normal air, you get into it, and then there is the inner tin with little holes on the inner side, and that means that the air which comes in here, it can get out only through the holes, and then they get right into the flame. So that means that the flame will get a lot of oxygen. And it's really very cheap. I used also cement, which is resistant to the heat. So that is a second retrofit which I made on it. And the third retrofit is that I want to make a thermal storage. And this thermal storage, I will do it with stones, which I will divide here. Then I would try to develop airflow, which goes to the outside radially. And then I put a kind of metal dish made from a frying pan. It would go to the outside and it would go on the other side of the frying pan, turn back to the inside, to the center of the frying pan, and it will find there also pebble stones. And then there on the inner lid there will be a central hole and it will go outside. So that means the burning gases will radially in 360 degrees, it will go outside. I think there will be a good heat exchange between the combustion gases and the stone. So those are three retrofits which I put on a normal object, which I bought with a little bit of discount for $30. I think that's really the solution. As a do-it-yourselfer, you should see what is already available for a low budget on the market, and then you retrofit it. Another storage is that if, for example, you look to developing countries, there I think that the main application of this waste oil burning will be for cooking, because cooking is really an issue. You have in developing countries also many situations that they collect wood and they have to go out to find sufficient wood, and then they put it in a stove which is not very efficient, and then they have also much smoke inside the home. Okay, cooking is in developing countries a main application, and heating homes will be less necessary than if you compare it with the industrialized countries. So you, in the application that you have to heat a room or a home, then this is very useful because you can use a burner outside. It will heat the pebble stones, it will store the heat, and then you switch it off, and then you can get it inside, and you will have no emissions at all in your home. About cooking, thermal storage can be very useful because, for example, if you put here a kind of dish with inside stones or any other heat storing material, and then you have this plate which will heat up, and it will contain maybe a quarter of a kilowatt hour, maybe a half a kilowatt hour, and that means that you can take off this plate, you can bring it inside, and you can cook on it because it's really hot, this plate. So that is the second application why heat storage can make sense. Another innovation which I want to bring to you is that you have the simple concept, which you know already many hundreds of years, that you have a stove inside your home and the smoke goes outside through a chimney. In that case, I would like to put a fan which is pulling the air from the stove, instead of, in this case, that you have a fan which is pushing the air. So in this configuration you have an overpressure here in the burner, and if you have an air leakage, it will go out into your home. And if you put, on the contrary, a fan in the chimney, then it will pull, and if there's an air leak, it will just draw a little bit air from the outside inside. So that's much safer, and then you can be sure that you don't rely so much on the natural draft of a normal chimney, if you have a chimney. Another innovation which I plan to give to you is that I will do research about pre-cleaning the waste oil, in how far that is possible and how you do it, and also post-clean the combustion gases. And I will bring that to you, and so that you don't have to figure it out anymore, and that you can also say to the people around you which have against waste oil burning, that you can say, okay, at least I did my homework. What I will also do is that I will try to make a good combination between do-it-yourself and just purchasing parts which are maybe too difficult and not worthwhile to develop yourself. What I want also to do, to bring to you, is some research on safety and also on legislation. And then, of course, I saw on YouTube many many burners where I saw a nice blue flame, so that is clean burning. And I will do my research and see how you can get a blue flame, a really hot flame. And talking about blue flames, there's also another innovation which I want to bring to you, I didn't see it in any other video, at least in combination with waste oil. And there we have this device. It's an oxygen generator. 1 month ago I was not even aware that you could make oxygen at your home. Okay, now we have this device. It's not so expensive. It is, I bought it for $350. And with this you can increase the concentration of oxygen from the normal 21% in our atmosphere to up to 93%. So that's nearly 100% of oxygen. And that means also that the power of oxidation of the air is really 4.5 times more powerful, and you get really a hot flame. I don't know if you saw my last short YouTube video. There I showed it, how intense this flame can get. I will say to you that there's also another use for white collar workers, students, and then it's indicated to dilute it to 30% or 40%. So that means 1.5 or 2 times the concentration which we have in the atmosphere of oxygen. And then you will study better, you will work with more concentration. So there you have already an application. So now we are at the conclusion. I showed you this project, and I showed you also what I want to do with it. It's not finished yet. I have no stones yet in it. I made my first experiments with burner. I put a new strong fan in it, but in the next week I will surely develop more options of it. So with thermal storage, I want to work with oxygen. I want to deliver research on how to make a blue flame, or maybe I will come out with different systems which are one more suitable for heating homes and the other more for cooking food. Anyway, I hope you enjoy to be part of this development, and I need really your comments to know in which direction I can do my research. And don't worry that I will now in the next half year, I will only talk about waste oil. I will always keep in my mind the objective of providing solutions for the do-it-yourselfer to keep the energy situation in your home in your hands. So I will go 360 degrees around on the whole technology and see what I can deliver for you. I need your support to dedicate more time to this channel, to this very important energy theme, to make you, homeowner, more independent from the world around, and help me so that I can help you. Please share this video with your friends and subscribe to the channel. And if you have comments or suggestions or questions, please leave them below in the text.